And today, North Carolina's future shines brighter than it did when I stood before you 2 years ago, and brighter still than when I stood before you 4 years ago. Back then, when Republicans assumed leadership of the General Assembly for the first time in more than a century, North Carolina's unemployment rate stood at over 10%, fifth highest in the nation. We faced stagnant job growth, record multi-billion-dollar budget deficits, and the region's highest tax rates. But in the 4 years since I first addressed you, thanks in large part to the hard work of so many of the people in this room, we're seeing positive results. Our unemployment rate has dropped nearly in half. North Carolina businesses have created more than 263,000 new jobs, and the number of people working in North Carolina has climbed to historic highs. And reductions in state income and sales taxes have put more money in the pockets of hard-working families across the state. We're proud of these results, from policies driven by what voters elected us to do. They elected us to balance the state budget, control the growth of government spending. They elected us to reform our tax code, reduce the tax burden on families and small businesses. They elected us to reform public education, to improve student outcomes. These decisions, made in partnership with our House colleagues over the past 4 years, and with Governor McCrory over the past 2 years, have helped turn North Carolina around. The changes we have implemented over the past 4 years are making our state a better place to build a business and a better place to live and raise a family. But make no mistake, there is more to be done. Voters have seen the positive direction our state is headed and have again returned us to continue along the new path forward. It's a great responsibility as we enter our third full session of implementing a new direction for North Carolina. And as we do that, we remain just as dedicated to effecting positive change and every bit as committed to fulfilling our promises as we were 4 years ago. In the coming session, we'll continue to develop policies that create a stronger education system and a stronger business climate with the goal of sustaining North Carolina's strong job growth. We'll continue working to improve our public schools because we recognize that a great education not only opens the door to a bright future for our children, it also builds a capable workforce and will attract businesses to our state. And we'll fulfill our important promise to raise starting teacher pay to $35,000 so that we can attract and retain the best talent in our classroom. We'll explore even more ways to improve the business tax line so more jobs can be created, and ways to make taxes less burdensome for our families so regular folks can keep more of their own money. We'll renew our efforts to reduce regulatory burdens that misdirect time and energy toward red tape and bureaucracy and away from growing businesses and getting people back to work. We'll continue to examine ways to make state government smarter and more efficient.